Without further ado, it is my honor. Actually, before she even comes up, she was baptized on Sunday. Come on, somebody, make some noise. So next up, we have Maddie Westland. Make some noise as she makes her way up. Come on, make some noise. Get loud, come on.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna have my notes up here because I've changed my message like 3 times in the last 2 days. So as Jaden was saying, I got baptized on Sunday, and when I got baptized, God was really telling me that I need to talk about a specific story that everyone seems to know, but no one really seems to get the point of the story. And no one seems to really think about what's behind the story. And when I was at Rally Conference, a lot of people were coming to me asking me for prayer about this, and I was like, this needs to be said. Someone needs to say this. Someone needs to talk about this. And so today I'm going to be talking about the story of Jacob from Genesis. And the point of my story is perspective and validation and who it's from. Yeah. So some background information that most of us know is, Jacob stole his brother Esau's birthright, right? So Esau's mad at him. He's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to come for you, square up, man. I'm going to come for you, right? He's going to be like, whoo. And so in the Bible, the first 2 verses are kind of talking about how he goes over the ford of Jabbok with his 2 wives and his 11 sons. It's a lot of kids. Man, the electrical bill. But, so the first 2 verses are kind of like that. And in verse 23, the last sentence is, then Jacob was alone. So, he was alone. He was terrified. He was like, God, I'm going to die. Help me, please. And sometimes to get things that need to be done, you need to be alone with God. It doesn't require an audience. Raise your hand if anyone here has seen The Chosen. Anyone here? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, I've been binging that lately, so yeah, I'm going to go into that a little bit. So, as you know, in The Chosen, and it takes stories from the Bible and everything, so God does miracles in private. He doesn't need an audience to prove that he has the power. Yeah. So, an audience doesn't need around for things to get done. God doesn't need an audience. He is God, right? Yeah. So, in the next verse, it says, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now, when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Right, so, basically the angel that he was wrestling with till daybreak, popped his hip out of its socket, right? Kind of painful. Once God touched Jacob, he never walked the same again. Never. Right. Yeah. Once you have a true encounter with God, and I say true, you will never walk, talk, or be the same as you ever would. That is what a true encounter with God is. It's not like Cameron was saying, you feel God, you see him, he sees your heart, he touches you, and you're like, okay, and then you walk away the same person you were. A true encounter with God is when your heart is changed, when your heart is filled. That is what a true encounter with God is. He changes you forever. You will never be the same. So the next part of the verse, in verse 26, it says, and he said, let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So he said to him, what is your name? And may I mind you guys, when an angel or God asks you a question, you better pay very close attention because they know the answer. They're not asking you because they're like, oh, what's the answer? No, they know. So you better be very cautious with your answer. Right. And so he said, Jacob. My name is Jacob, trickster, deceiver, liar, supplanter. My name is Jacob. Supplanter, noun. Someone or something taking a place of another through force. Scheming, strategy, conniving, supplanter. Right. Back to the story, Jacob and Esau, supplanter. Genesis 27, Esau says to their father, Jacob is a supplanter, for he has stolen my birthright and my blessing. Right, supplanter. I am what my friends call me. I am who they say I am. Verse 28, and he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed. It does not matter what the people of the world call you. It does not matter what your friends call you. It does not matter what you call yourself. You may call yourself what other people have called you. You may call yourself, I'm worthless. I'm not worth living. I'm not, proud of myself. I'm not proud of my accomplishments. I'm not doing things right. I've never heard anyone say that they're proud of me. I'm this person. I'm a liar. I've done all these bad things. Says who? I know God didn't say that. Whose validation are you listening to? Whose perspective are you listening to? Because I know it's not God. Because I'm pretty sure the God of the universe would never say, my child is a worthless scumbag. I'm pretty sure, God didn't say that. I'm pretty sure that he said, my child is worth more than gold and rubies, for he or she is made in my perfect image. And in the last part of Genesis 32:29, it says, and he blessed him there. So the point of this is perspective and validation. Whose? Whose perspective and validation? Because God's is the only one you should be listening to. If you're listening to society saying, you should be this is who you are. You don't have a choice. This is what you were born into. This is what you were made to be. This is what is your friends and society is telling you to be. No, God isn't saying that. Yeah, pretty sure the only validation that matters is God. Perspective from other people, especially your friends or the world's perspective, I'm pretty sure they're not the ones speaking the truth. I'm pretty sure they didn't come down to die for your sins. I'm pretty sure that, they aren't thinking about what God thinks about. God sees the big picture. They see the small picture. The 100 years of life that we may have, they're like, well, you need to do this, this, and that. You need to be rich. You need to have a nice car. You need to get all A's. You need to be famous so people care about you, or else you're worthless, or else you're not worth anything, right? That's what everyone says. God says that you're worth more than anything. Pretty sure if he said that you were made in his perfect image, you wouldn't be worthless. Pretty sure he also says that he's proud of you and everything you've accomplished. You could never do anything to stop him from loving you because you never did anything to make him start. That's just how it works. So to speak of validation and perspective, who should it come from? Yeah? God, there you go. Getting the gist of it, yeah. So in this verse, we are learning, like I said, he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob. Your name is no longer trickster, deceiver, liar, supplanter. You are no longer someone who takes. You are someone who gives. You give your heart to God. You give your everything to God because he is there. He's the only validation that matters. And that is what your heart is meant for, like the song said. He's looking for your heart and only your heart. Not for anyone else's bitterness, burdens. You aren't some burden. That's what God's perspective is. And that is the point of my message. God's perspective is how you are worth more than anything you can imagine. And that is why he sent his perfect son to die for you. So perspective does matter.